I, 19M, haven't lived with my parents since I was 8. I haven't spoken to my parents, not even a hi, since I was 12. At the age of 8 I was shipped off to my grandparents, because I was acting out and my parents didn't want to deal with that while they were caring for my medically fragile sister, 16F, who was 5 when I was sent away. My sister was born with a seizure disorder, and a genetic abnormality that makes her very sick. She was in and out of hospital a lot when I still lived with my parents, and I know it continued until I was 12, but I'm not sure about after. My parents took turns being with her and calling out of work. When she wasn't in the hospital, they were still pouring their energy into her, and I was ignored and or forgotten in the stress of everything. I tried to get some attention from my parents, but they found it easy to ignore me. I was a quiet kid who didn't really get very loud, and so they didn't pay any attention to me. Eventually it got to me and I started acting out. I broke stuff, I screamed and cussed, I ruined dinner, and hid stuff like their keys or their phones or the TV remote. It got me attention, but it didn't get me much attention. My parents would yell and would send me to my room, but that was it. They never followed up. I had a huge epic tantrum when I was 7, asking why they didn't love me and threatening to throw a bunch of stuff at them, and they didn't care. They removed my sister and stayed with her in her bedroom. Then when I was 8 I broke a vase my great-great-grandma left to my mom. That was my parents' final straw. My mom lost her shit and told me she hated me, and she wanted me out of the house, because she couldn't bring herself to look at me again. My dad brought me to my grandparents' house, and he told them they were sick of me being a little shit, and not understanding they had better things to do than listen to me cry or yell. My grandparents sued for legal custody, and there was some drama for a while because my grandparents also sued for child support. My parents didn't want me back, but they didn't want to pay the child support order either. There were some phone calls that happened until I was 12 between my parents and me. That was it though. They stopped and we had no more contact again, until they reached out last month, and they told me they regretted the way our relationship ended up and they wanted us to talk things through. I wasn't interested, and that's exactly what I told them, but they asked several times and they tried to get my grandparents on side and failed. My parents told me my sister misses me and they are trying to make things right, but we need to talk. They asked me not to wait until it's too late. But I don't want to fix things. I don't want a relationship with them. It's way too late for anything like that. My parents told me to remember, I was no angel, and I have some stuff I need to reflect on and own up to as well. They said they wanted this to work out though.